Belief shapes behavior. You will only act on what you think is possible. If you don't believe you can build a multi-million-dollar business or buy a multi-million-dollar business, you'll never run the plays in the playbook to get to that result. Your belief sets the ceiling of your behavior. You're only going to behave in accordance to the ceiling of your belief, nothing more.
I'd rather be sidelined trying to achieve greatness than watch greatness achieved and it only set on the sideline. Now introducing your host, Jacob Emery.
This episode of the Iron and Infrastructure Podcast is brought to you by Unlocking Greatness with Jacob Emery, a coaching community built for those ready to become the strongest version of themselves. Weekly calls, proven playbooks, and a community built to grow. Greatness is not given, it's unlocked. Join us today at jacobemery.com or DM coach at jacobemery44 on all social media platforms. Belief without behavior is delusion. Behavior without belief is hollow. There's only one state that works, and most of us are not in it. Today, we're going to deep dive into the two ideas that you're supposed to run in parallel through your life: belief and behavior. What you say you stand for, and then what you actually do. Most personal development tells you belief drives your behavior. You think it, you see it, you become it. There's a $1 billion industry built out there on this premise, but it's only half true. And the half that is wrong is destroying a lot more leaders than just simple burnout is. So stay with me. By the end of this episode, you'll hear which side of the equation you're broken on and which lever that needs to be pulled on this week maybe to start fixing it. Let me define both in plain English, no fluff, straight direct. Belief is what you hold on to be true about yourself. Your work, your future, your dreams, aspirations. It's your internal story, the identity that you have, the conviction that you might have. It's the thing that you say, if I asked you who you are when nobody else is in the room, that's it. And behavior is what you actually do. The receipts, your repetition, what you do daily, discipline, action. It's the phone calls that you make or you don't make. It's the miles that you have on your reps that showcase who you are today. You run or skipped. You did it or you didn't. It's what's done in the dark that comes to light. Now, here's the trap that most people fall into. They think that the two things have to be a one-way arrow from one side to the other side. Belief in, behavior out. If you just believe hard enough, then the behavior will follow. And I don't believe it works that way. Belief and behavior have a bidirectional story. They have a bidirectional arrow. It's not a one-way street. It is a two-way street. They shape each other. Belief influences behavior, but behavior also rewrites what your beliefs are. You do what you think you can do, and that's often belief shaping behavior. And you become what you repeatedly do. That's behavior shaping belief. Both directions are real, and both are happening to you right now, whether you noticed it or you don't notice it. The question we're going to spend some time working on today is, what is the truth? And then what are the breakdowns of the two not working together, and then what happens when they run parallel together? For the longest time in the gym, I did not have a belief that I could have a lean body that was natural, built my way, doing the reps. I didn't believe that I was genetically set up to be successful. I believed that I wasn't going to get what I wanted regardless of how hard I worked. That was my belief. My behavior was going at the gym, doing the thing, but then I would cheat on my diet. I wouldn't stay consistent. I would over-apply and not listen to the long-term strategy that I knew was right, whether it was myself or external people telling me to slow down, to take my time, delay gratification. I did not have the behavior set yet to sync with the belief that I could have this thing that I do today. Also, my behavior at R&R Pipeline, trying to buy the company, I had a belief system that I was going to do it. My behavior followed suit, but then I would also do the same thing where maybe there was a point I didn't believe it as much. Maybe I was lying to myself. Maybe it was a delusional thing that everybody else was right about. My behavior would maybe follow suit to that. And then I would change behavior. And then my belief would change. And it was really interesting to see when they came together. It was like fire and gasoline. But when they didn't, when my behavior showed one thing, my belief said another. Maybe I believe I'm a great leader. My behavior says I'm not. Maybe my behavior shows one thing and I'm believing something different. maybe my perception of reality is just wrong. Well, that's often the case. I had a belief that I could not do this thing because of X. The reality was my belief was flawed because I was just not having the right behaviors in place to get the desired outcome. And there's exactly 3 states of this that exist. State 1 is you have belief without behavior. State 2 is you have behavior without belief. And number 3, the one that we should all strive for, is you have belief and behavior working in sync. They're aligned or together with unity. So let's walk through each one. Belief without behavior is delusion. This is the most common one. Most people are in a state of, I'm going to believe, I'm going to manifest, I willpower myself to this thing, but then they don't have the behavior to follow it. I believe I can achieve. Well, what are you doing with your action? You believe that you're meant to achieve some sort of greatness, or you're unlocking your own sort of greatness, but then nothing else follows suit. You believe this thing or that thing or whatever it may be. I'm going to be a great athlete. I'm going to wake up for the gym. I'm going to change my body, my mind, my attitude. I'm going to change it all. And then you hit snooze. You don't apply yourself daily. You're not consistent. You don't track your progress. You don't have gratitude for the wins because you're not winning like you should be. Not big waves, everyday consistent little waves. Your belief systems are not matching your behavior systems. And so your action or lack thereof is what is giving you this delusional belief because you're not following what you're supposed to do. Build a plan with your belief. Your behavior has to follow suit. And the brutal part normally is the world doesn't see what you believe. The world only sees what you do. So it doesn't matter what your intent is, what's your impact. If you believe you're going to do something, then you better do it. And if no one believes that you're doing it, what's your behavior say? Believe in what's true, not what you think is tradition. And the worst is eventually deep down, you still lie to yourself, but then you realize that everyone's right because you don't have the receipts of proof. You don't have the backlog documented to say, you know what, I put in this time, I put in this energy, this effort. What's your clock say? How much time did you spend on this day? What's your calendar say? Did you log the time that you had spent with that clock to allocate time toward your desired outcome? What's your behavior showing? If you're saying you're doing the thing to get the result, then show me you're doing the thing to get the result. And if you're not, are you just delusional? Because your belief system is flawed because your behavior system doesn't follow. There should be 0 proof needed, but all the proof available. Because you should be able to showcase by your standards, day in and day out, what you're doing. And it doesn't have to be shown with your presence. So the recipes aren't there. The belief goes away because of your own action. And that's not faith anymore. It's just delusion. And because no one sees it, you don't see it, you still believe it, but then you become delusional because you're not actually doing anything about it. It's not that, oh, I have faith this will happen. No, you might have faith and that's fine, but you have to move something to get it to go forward. Delusion is nothing more than not showing up. You believe in something to be true, your behavior follows. If it doesn't, it's delusion. I have built so many things recently with AI. I have built databases, apps, websites. I have built stuff so far out of my element 6 months ago. But unless they actually work and have a desired outcome in place, it's all for nothing. My belief is this is what's better for the bigger picture. And that's probably true. But until I can show it, it doesn't actually mean anything. I'm building something pretty elaborate, but it doesn't actually matter until it's done. So my belief system is, yeah, this is great. My behavior is getting it there, but it's not there yet. So I have nothing to show. So I don't have proof. My belief, yes, I believe it's what's best. My behavior, I'm pushing it forward. But until it's done, I really can't say this is what is best with the belief or the behavior. Not until it's completed. This episode of the Iron and Infrastructure Podcast is brought to you by R&R Pipeline Inc., an infrastructure company. Join our team today at rrpipelineinc.com. Next, we have behavior without the belief. Now the opposite trap. This is the grinder state. You show up. You're hitting goals. You're moving numbers. You look great on paper. From the outside, people think you got it all figured out. But then inside, when you sit by yourself, it's empty. Because somewhere along the way, you really don't believe in yourself. You're performing actions that aren't anchored with conviction anymore. It's that grit versus grind. You lost the passion with grit. You're just grinding through the day to day and you don't know why. You're doing the work without owning your own identity, without finding out who you are with authenticity. And this is probably the high achiever's hell because your accomplishment looks good. It's accolades, outcomes, goals hit. People thrive in this scenario. On the outside, you have it all figured out, but on the inside, you're suffocating because you don't know what's going on with your belief system. You hit your revenue target, your gross margins are right, profits are there, things are great, cash flow is back on track, payroll's being made easily, paying out incentives. You're doing all the things right. And then something just doesn't feel like it's inside anymore. What is it? Why? Well, this is the leader who keeps moving the goalpost, maybe. Every win gets whatever. It's not appreciated. It's kind of like a treadmill. Behavior without a belief is like a treadmill. I don't know how else to put it. You can run forever. You can always push up the speed, the pace, the intensity, and you never arrive anywhere. You're spinning on this treadmill of hell and you don't understand why. You bump it up to an 8 from a 7 and you're still knocking it out, and then to a 9. And then what happens? Eventually, you can't run anymore. And eventually the speed's too much and you never arrive anywhere. And ultimately it leads to burnout. For me, this was the most obvious treadmill example I could ever think of, but buying R&R Pipeline, that was such a big monumental thing for me. And what I realized at the day of closing on that business, 7 years ago, it was closure of this big goal, 12 years for one goal, all in, and I felt nothing. Because I've been on this treadmill for so long, I didn't appreciate any of it. I might not have been on a treadmill in all reality, and I didn't stop and see any of the sights along the way. I didn't appreciate the process. So by default, I put myself on this treadmill in this cave, and I just see nothing but dark. And when the light came on, my eyes hurt too bad to see it. So the third state is the ultimate end goal. It is behavior and belief in sync. It's integrity and authenticity at its finest. That integrity, authenticity, and conviction alone will get you the thing that you want. Now, the only state that actually works is that integral state, because you are being your true authentic self. Honesty, openness. You get to be who you want to be. But the deeper meaning is structural. Integrity, when the pieces are all integrated together, when the inside and the outside line up together, and you're just you and you can't help but be that person. It's natural, it's thoughtless. This is a state where the gym work confirms your identity. Your body showcases the proof of the gym. You can post it all online on social media, but you don't have to. You take your shirt off and everyone knows. Whatever they're doing, they're about it. They got a belief and a behavior. Took shirt off, belief, behavior, result. What I see. This is the state where everything just works and you're not forcing something to not be true. It's not something that you have to believe in. You don't have to force it. It's a belief system. Your behavior is a lifestyle. You don't have to manufacture it. You don't have to make it up. You don't have to push for it. You're not searching for motivation. Now, the mechanism, how belief and behavior actually shape each other. There's 2 laws. I would say memorize these. Belief shapes behavior. You will only act on what you think is possible. If you don't believe you can build a multi-million-dollar business or buy a multi-million-dollar business, you'll never run the plays in the playbook to get to that result. Your behavior sets the ceiling because your belief sets the ceiling of your behavior. You're only going to behave in accordance to the ceiling of your belief, nothing more. The second law, behavior shapes belief. You will become what you repeatedly do. Repetition equals reputation. Each action that you take is a vote to yourself that you are going to build confidence into the person that you can become. You are putting a deposit in every day based on what you do. It's your identity. It's who you are. Action doesn't always equal accomplishment, but it does equal authenticity. Your action will create your authenticity. Who you are is shown by what you do on a daily, whether you want to or whether you don't. It's your behavior. It is a lifestyle. It's not just this motivational thing. It's the discipline every day to insert that deposit of what you need to do that's best for you. Put yourself first, do the thing for you daily. And this is why fake it till you make it can actually work sometimes. You can act yourself into a new identity, but you have to do it because of your behavior. This is why visualizing, affirmations, motivational talks to yourself at certain times. Both directions are real. The trick, and this is where most people get it stuck, is knowing which lever you have to pull. So here's how to know if one is broken. Which one is it? Memorize them. Memorize this. Think about it. Repeat it to yourself. Frustrated, exhausted. Frustrated, exhausted. If you're frustrated with your lack of progress, your behavior is broken. You believe, but you're not acting in accordance to your belief. The frustration is belief in search of behavior. If you're exhausted despite progress, if you feel broken, beat down, and tired, it's because your belief is broken. You're acting, but you don't believe in what you're acting on. What are you acting for? The exhaustion is behavior in search of belief. Frustration equals belief in search of behavior. Exhaustion equals behavior in search of belief. Most people are pulling the wrong lever. They try to believe their way out of a behavioral problem. They try to outthink their thinking. If you're mentally in a fog, physical output is probably the way to get out of it. If you're struggling to believe, show me what your behavior says to create a different belief system. Don't try to recreate your belief when you're in a funk. Use a behavior to change your belief or a belief to change your behavior. If your belief is broken, slow down. Get quiet. Reconnect onto the why before you push any harder. If your behavior is broken, stop journaling about it. Stop taking one action today, contradicting the false belief. Action will rewrite the belief. Conviction will follow. So, at the end of the day, what is it that is hindering you with your progress? Do you have the behavior? Do you have the belief? Are they in sync, or are you missing one? Which one is missing? Think about it. These two are absolutely powerful. They work together in parallel. It's this revolving door, and this circle cannot be continuous and go around with progress if you have a belief or behavior that doesn't follow suit. The behavior and belief, they got to work together. So here's how I would suggest taking 3 steps into figuring it out. Out loud, write down, I am someone who built X. I am someone who leads. I am someone who does this or that. I am someone who is becoming great. Whatever it is, one belief specific. Write down your belief. What is it? And step 2, list the last 7 days of behaviors that led to that becoming true. Check your calendar. Be brutal with yourself. Just be honest. So is the behavior that you took in sync with your belief? Were they not aligned? We have to plan accordingly. And that's step 3. Score what it is. If you're not behaving in a way of your belief, it's time to get back on track, and you must do it by putting it in your calendar. Behaviorals, action, belief, thought, belief, behavior. Sync them together with time. Put them in your calendar. See how they stack up. This is the last and final step, but you must do it in accordance to your calendar. Control your time with the calendar. Persistent patience, my life motto. Persistent with the pursuit, patient with the outcome. So be persistent in putting it in your calendar, doing it daily, and don't expect it to come out right away. Take time with the outcome. It doesn't mean you're not being persistent. It means that you're being patient with the outcome, because this will take time. Behavior and belief in sync, though, will be a game changer. Make sure it's in your calendar, digest them, be real with yourself, and watch everything change. So if this episode hit, 1, share it with anyone that you think might need it. A lot of people have behavior and belief issues and they don't even recognize it because they cannot see it. So figure out what side of the gap you're on. Let other people see this episode. DM me if you need help. If you're struggling with this and you want some help, Jacob Emery 44 on all the social media platforms. DM me for some help and I will help you get through the belief and behavior cycle. The feedback that I get is amazing. I continue to be full gratitude for the opportunities that I have to be able to help out others. So belief, behavior. If your system is broke, it ain't no joke. Okay. Hit me up, Jacob Emery 44, social media platforms, or jacobemery.com. Let's get the belief and behavior figured out for good. Stop telling yourself one day. It isn't about one day, it's about day 1. Today should be your day 1. What you need isn't another day. What you need is clarity with the community to give you confidence to unlock your greatness. That's what the group coaching program is all about. Confidence, clarity, via commitment. Hit the show link in the notes. Let's start unlocking your greatness now, today.